Adult bed rails have been linked to more than 280 deaths, and a recalled model could be sitting in a parent's home right now, still looking safe and working normally. Most recalled products are never returned, and the CPSC's own data puts the average correction rate at just 6%. In this video, I'll show you 4 recalled aging-in-place products that can still turn up in homes, yard sales, and secondhand listings. By the end, you'll know exactly what to check before trusting any of them. Start with the bed rail. In 92% of those entrapment deaths, the person's head or neck became trapped, often between the rail and the mattress, or between the rail's own bars. There wasn't a federal safety standard covering any of this until 2023. One recent case is Vive Health, which recalled about 122,000 units in March 2026 after 2 deaths in September 2024. A 97-year-old man in Texas assisted living and a 93-year-old man at home in Florida. Check the rail itself for a compliance label dated 2023 or later. No label that recent, and it's worth a closer look. Here's how a bed rail recalled for killing people ends up back in a home anyway. Reselling a recalled product is illegal under federal law, but resellers aren't required to test anything against the recall list, so the system runs on people checking voluntarily. The first recall notice doesn't always cover every affected model either. Sangohei's bed rail recall was expanded months later to cover more models still violating that same standard. A 2007 study of children's product recalls found the same honor system gap on secondhand marketplaces. Nearly 200 auctions carrying recalled items, and most of them sold. If equipment came from a parent's house, a yard sale, or a hand-me-down, nobody along that chain was required to check it against anything. I cover practical checks like that for every product on this list, so if that's useful, subscribe. The next product can fail without warning. An Avena teak shower bench, sold exclusively at Costco, was recalled in 2021 after 81 reports of it collapsing mid-use, 4 of which resulted in injury, including a fractured tailbone. There were no deaths here, and it's an older, lower-stakes case than the bed rail, but roughly 70,000 were sold in the USA alone. A shower bench doesn't announce that it's the recalled model. It just looks like a bench, right up until someone's full weight is on it and no one else is in the house. If one showed up secondhand or came from a relative, check for the Avena name before anyone relies on it in the shower. The next one is different. It doesn't fail loudly, it just quietly stops doing the one thing it exists for. Between 2017 and 2019, Philips Lifeline recalled about 20,000 home-safe auto-alert pendants, model FD100, after a programming error disabled the automatic fall detection feature. The button still worked fine if pressed. What silently failed was the part designed for the exact moment someone can't press it. That defect was fixed and the recall closed in 2019, so this isn't a claim about current Lifeline devices. But an older FD100 can still turn up on a resale site or in a drawer of hand-me-down medical equipment, working fine for manual presses while its automatic fall detection feature remains disabled. Check for the model number, FD100, before assuming an older pendant still does its job. The last item is one of the first things many families add for bathroom safety, and one version has now been recalled. About 174,500 multi-grip tub safety bars, sold under the Peerless, Safety First, and Delta names, were recalled by federal regulators in September 2024. The plastic grip pads could work loose on tubs with tapered walls, turning the one fixture someone grabs mid-fall into the thing that gives way. These sold at Walmart, Home Depot, Lowe's, Ace Hardware, and Amazon for 13 straight years, from 2011 to 2024. With that many years on the market, this is exactly why a low correction rate matters at scale. Over a decade of installs, in the one room where a grab bar failing matters most. Check the bar for the Peerless, Safety First, or Delta name before anyone grabs it expecting it to hold. If any of these are in a home you're responsible for, check the model before using it or passing it along. A recall notice only works if it reaches the person holding the product, and with older or secondhand equipment, it often never does. None of these 4 were hidden, they were recalled, and then mostly, they just stayed.